Hi, everybody. My name is Carla Wills-Brandon, and I'm the author of 13 books. I want to talk to you about something very important. It's not going to be a topic that's going to be discussed at the next cocktail party. The topic involves death and dying. For a number of years, I have worked as a trauma specialist. I have worked with all sorts of trauma situations, from war to abuse. When the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up, I was actually at the front lines. And over those years, I have been listening to people who have had phenomenal things to share about what they have witnessed at the moment of a passing. Now, being a trauma specialist, oftentimes it was very hard for me to talk to my own mental health peers about what my clients were sharing with me. Even as an experiencer of contact with the afterlife, I never ever felt safe in talking openly about my own experiences. When I was just 16, I was awakened at 5 in the morning, and I knew that my mother had passed on. I knew intuitively that she had come by to give me one last hug before she had moved on. What I didn't know was that at that same time, two other family friends in different locations were also awakened at that same moment. I wouldn't hear their stories for 10 years. On top of that, I had a cousin and a great aunt who were also awakened at the moment of my mother's passing. Believe it or not, I didn't hear about that until just this year. Why is that? 100 years ago, when someone was preparing to pass, they passed at home in their own bed with the family around the bedside. If they had a departing vision and began talking about deceased loved ones and relatives coming to take them to an afterlife existence, this was shared openly with the family. Family would even say, "Tell Grandma hi for me," or, "Is that my wife you're seeing? Tell her I love her and I miss her." Today, sadly, people tend to die more often than not in hospitals and nursing homes. And though the staff can be nurturing, wonderful, and loving, oftentimes many of us end up physically passing by ourselves. Family then is expected to be over their grief within a matter of months. We're not supposed to talk about it. So a year, 2 years, even 10 years after a passing, I often have somebody walking into my office full of grief and not knowing why. Death used to be a part of the landscape. Death was seen as only a transition. Today, death is often seen as the end. So I made a commitment to start writing about these experiences in 2000. And I published my first book. And it received rave reviews. And a number of people told me they were very touched and they had never even heard of the departing vision phenomenon. I published another book in 2003, and I not only discussed departing visions, but I discussed near-death experiences and after-death communications. This month, I released my third book on the topic, and I had wonderful experiences hearing from very brave souls about their encounters. I talked to the dying and listened to them and listened to their tales of the visions they were having of an afterlife, and saw the joy on their faces as they saw their deceased loved ones and relatives there to take them away. I heard accounts from family members who were awakened at the moment of a passing, who knew intuitively that their loved one had moved on to the afterlife, or who had seen an apparition or a vision of their loved one right before receiving the news that this loved one had moved on. A simple wave, a smile, and "I love you." So what I did is I put together this third book. And the purpose of this third book is to continue the journey, to let you, the reader, know that physical death is nothing to fear. If you have lost someone and you are grieving and you are fearful that maybe they are no longer there, you can't contact them, that opportunity is gone, the relationship is gone, this book is for you. This book will help you learn that no, life doesn't end with physical death, and that yes, you can make contact with your deceased loved ones. If you are someone who is fearful of death and dying, know, know that death and dying, that's not the end. It's just a transition. So my name is Carla Wills-Brandon. Pick up a copy of Heavenly Hugs, and please feel free to contact me if you have a tale to share.